Well, here we are again. Hi, guys. This is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show. And we've got a pretty good show for you today. Got some really cool stuff going on that we're going to talk about. We also have a story we're going to share. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull up here our little information sheet. And that is kind of going over a little bit of what we're going to be talking about briefly in general. And that is supernatural whale deaths and other ocean anomalies. We're going to have a discussion about that and look at we're going to look at what that subject matter holds. Okay. And also, we're going to read Leah's story. And the tagline from it is Once again, I was trapped inside. And then one question I'm going to be posing, hopefully a couple of times throughout the show today, is who here is a TSS founding member? TSS stands as just an acronym for the Supernatural Show. Who here is a TSS founding member? And I know there's some of you here. Absolutely. I'm going to take a look at the comments real quick. We've got Shannon will probably be showing up here in a few. And see y'all guys in attendance out there. Glad to have y'all here. We're going to jump right into the show. We're not going to waste too much time here. But I do like showing y'all guys that I appreciate that you are here. Captain Howdy, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, maybe. Okay. And Lanego, Georgia. I can't pronounce that one. And here we got Betty showing up. And we have our superhero Charlie in the house. Charlie in the house. How you doing, my brother? Good to see you back here again. I'm happy to have you here, my brother. And other people were happy to see you as well. Charlie was our first show storyteller with the Supernatural Show. Something I'll never forget. He was the first guy to submit a story. And a lot of y'all guys know Charlie. If you'd like to socialize with Charlie sometime, you can go over to the website. He is a member, a founding member, just like all of you will be. Anybody who signs up right now will be a founding member and have access to the website for free. You just have to go over to thesupernatural.show and sign up until I get to a large number of people, just being open and honest. Once we get to a large number of people, and I know all of my main viewers that have been with me for years are in there, and y'all guys are members, at some point, I will start charging because the site, you wouldn't believe the amount of hours I'm spending on the site every day, 7 days a week building it. There's a lot of really cool things going on. And I'm looking forward to going over a lot of that with you. I'm not probably going to do that today, but I will be doing it very soon. C-Dub Kamikaze, I guess. Glad to have you here, my brother. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the supernatural stories that are coming out related to this whale thing that's going on. I've been watching the oceans a lot, as you can imagine, and there's definitely some really strange things going on with the ocean. Like, for instance, the clearing of the water on the East Coast. The water has turned, for the first time in my lifetime, the water has turned blue. It's always a dark, ugly green, basically. But now it's blue. All right, hang on just 1 second, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. Just could hear a little bit of background noise, and I was checking to see what it was. All right, let me adjust my screen a little bit so you can see how fantastic ugly I am, or pretty, or whatever you think. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, as they say. See, Captain Howdy says I worked 10 years as a CCRN and ER and RN, and I've got a few stories as well as a couple of mind-blowing near-death experiences with some patients. Maybe I'll call sometime. That sounds great. I would sure appreciate it, my brother, if you would do that. You also, as you probably may know, you can go on the website and submit your story on the website, the supernatural.show, and click on Submit Story at the top of the website. And of course, we're still doing observations on the wobble, and I'm continuing to get reports. As a matter of fact, we're going to take a look at one of the reports here in a minute of wobbling going on still, at least till 2 days ago. And yesterday, I believe I felt it again. It was a wobble. It's a slow wobble. And if you happen to be walking in the right angle compared to the wobble, it'll make you stagger. And I'm pretty sure that happened to me again yesterday. Guys, also, the way this channel grows and the way y'all guys can help me greatly to land back on my feet in my own place, because I'm still in a hotel right now, is to share this video and thumb this up, because I am, again, open and honest, and I am going to monetize this channel if I can, if they will allow me. I have hit the marks as to what they require: 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, and I've exceeded both of those by great numbers at this point. So I have submitted my application. I'm trying to monetize this channel. It will take some of the weight off of y'all guys. I will never change what I do or say for money, but we do focus more specifically on the supernatural on this channel. And so that keeps me out of some trouble, and I can go over to my other channel, Logic Before Authority, and get in trouble over there. So, that's how it goes. I've been doing that one for 12 years. It's been terminated 4 times, and I've had to rebuild it 4 times. So, yeah, there's that. Also, if you'd like to toss me a tip, buy me a coffee, donate a couple of bucks towards my housing fund, all those links are under the video, as well as they are on the website, as well as you can see here. Okay, but you can go under the video and click, or either you can go right here and click one of these, and it'll take you right to the page where you can send a couple bucks to me. And this is a Supernatural Show PayPal account. And of course, I have a personal one too as well that's in a link under the channel. So let's go ahead and do what we came here to do, which is talk a little bit about some things that are going on. We're going to do that, and then we're going to tell Leah's story, okay? And like I say, Shannon probably be showing up here in a few minutes. Here is a report from 2 days ago. It says 2 earthquakes reported minutes apart in North Carolina overnight. Okay, so North Carolina, of course, the state just north of me. I'm in South Carolina. I'm down in the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. Thought I'd read just a little bit of this to see what they're saying. It says Greensboro, North Carolina, the United States Geological Survey reported 2 earthquakes just minutes apart in North Carolina early Tuesday morning. According to the USGS, the first earthquake hit 2.2 miles west of McLeansville. Check this out. Check that out. It says that it hit at McLeansville at 1:19. In other words, 9/11 in reverse. I hadn't even noticed that on here yet. But yep, there's the 9/11 warning. You see these wobbles that are going on. They're not earthquakes. There's no epicenter. The whole country wobbles backwards and forth. It's happening all the way from from Canada all the way to Florida. And this has been going on now for weeks. And I've done extensive videos on it on this channel and on the other channel as well, talking about this. It says it had a 2.0 magnitude and a depth of 0 kilometers. They're saying it was 0 kilometers deep. How can an earthquake that has an epicenter be 0 kilometers deep? Anybody have any answer to that? Let me turn my comments back on over here so I can see what y'all guys are doing. Yeah. So, Queen Marifa says apparently the Schumann residence has been really active up and down for about 2 or 3 days now. I watch Mr. MMB 333. I think he goes through that and radar of Yellowstone. Yeah, someone who does a really good job of Yellowstone is Mary Greeley, and I'm familiar with her, known her for a long time, not personally, but I know of her, and we've communicated once or twice. And yeah, she does a really good job on that. Mr. MMB, he does a great job at putting out a lot of content, but he never looks into it and explains what's happening. That's the only thing. Like, how many times has he shown angel orbs on there? And how many times has he ever said, hey, these might be angels? It ain't like he ain't been told, because I've sent him messages, emails, and everything to explain it. But he refuses, for whatever reason, to even consider that as a possibility, apparently. Anyways, it ain't beat up on him day or anything like that. Let's keep going here. I don't think I know what that is. Please be careful with that rich planet net NATO, please. Charlie, you're going to have to tell me more about what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. Queen Marifa says, wouldn't that mean it didn't come from the ground up? Well, technically, that's what they're saying. But technically, earthquakes don't happen that way. Can't happen that way. However, you're actually more right, I think, than we know, or than we may understand, because I think it is very potentially coming from above, you might say, if you get what I'm saying, right? It's coming from above. What I mean, to explain a little bit, is it has to do with, in scripture, it talks about angels coming down with keys. What it's referring to is a key as in a resonant harmonic. It's a key like on a piano, a key like in the note of, in the key of, on a harp. Okay, the frequency is what controls our world, and I suspect that it's been a change in the keys that control our world, WHIRLED, world. So let's go ahead and look at another article here, or actually, let's finish reading this one. The quake was also 6 miles northeast of Greensboro, North Carolina. The second quake hit at 1:22. So we had one at 9:11 backwards, or 1:19 a.m., and we had a second one at 3 minutes later. It's saying 3.7 miles northeast of Greensboro. Okay, so 2 different epicenters is what you're saying. I'm not saying I believe what I'm reading, to be honest with you, but it is what they're saying. And sometimes you can see, might say, coded messages in this information. Yeah. Said both earthquakes were close to the North Carolina and Virginia border region. Okay. All right, so let's take a look and see what else is going on. Let's pull this down. Close all these little ads I can. This one says, rare earthquake off coast in Gulf of Mexico defies easy explanation. This one was back in June, but I pulled it up, a couple of these like this. So this one was off the coast down in the Gulf of Mexico, which is kind of strange, right? Let's take a look at the next one here. This one is, well, I'm going to have to pull this page down a little bit and close these ads. Ads everywhere. All right. Strong 6.6 earthquake rocks Atlantic Ocean. No tsunami threat for now. What do you mean? For now. Yeah, I know. Some of you guys think I read into things too much. But I pay attention because this media, all of this media, including the one you're looking at right now, because all these websites in general are controlled assets. But yeah, that's a pretty strange and large earthquake. Probably one that none of us even heard about in July on the 10th. Really? It says it was a 6.6, 350 miles east of San Juan, 125 miles north of Antigua and Barbuda, Barbuda, and the 6.6. Okay, now get this. It's a 6.6 earthquake. Any signaling going on there? And it was struck from a depth of 9.9. So it's 6.6 at a depth of 9.9. Okay. And let's see, it says it struck at 4:28 p.m. Eastern Time. So, okay. And then another one struck at 5 p.m., supposedly. Right? It says tsunamis are giant waves caused by earthquakes or volcanic eruptions under the sea. Yeah. Or there's a few other possibilities of what could cause that kind of a thing. All right, so that's another one. We're going to get more recent here in just a moment. Actually, I already looked at that one. Here's the next one, and they're telling me I got to buy in order to read it, so they're not getting read. Here is earthquake strikes just off the East Coast. No damage, no tsunami. When did they start mentioning tsunamis on the East Coast of the United States? I'll tell you when. In the last few months. You don't never hear of them talking about a tsunami going to hit on the East Coast of the United States. Now all of a sudden they're talking about it over and over. Anybody else find that weird? This one was a 4.5. It struck at 12:07 at 10 kilometers. I think 10 kilometers, if you convert that to feet or miles, is something like 6.6 or something like that. I could be wrong. It says the epicenter of the earthquake struck in an unusual area located roughly 600 miles southeast of New York City, 600 miles northeast of Jacksonville, Florida. So 600 miles south of New York City and 600 miles northeast of Jacksonville, Florida, and 500 miles east of Charleston, South Carolina. In other words, right off my coast. Oh, guess who just showed up?
Hello.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Let's chat with Shannon for a second, then we'll go back to the news.
I was listening. Earthquakes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, earthquakes and a lot of dead whales, which we're getting ready to get into here in a minute. And these earthquakes, they're mentioning the words tsunami in the same conversation and talking about the east coast of the United States, which never gets talked about tsunamis. It just never happens. At least in my lifetime, it's not happened very much. You never hear that kind of talk about the east coast. I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about out there. So
Yeah.
how are you doing, Miss Shannon?
Oh, hanging in there. It's been a rough day, but I'm here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's here and
I was
still lovely and in the image of God.
I got my Holy Spirit shirt on.
Yeah, well, I say that the image of God and related to the word lovely or beautiful
Yeah.
is because of my understandings of why we look the way we do as humans, as man and woman. You think about it, right? You got, remember how I've talked about uh, a hurricane, how it has a lower level low and an upper level low?
Hmm.
You always have to have two in order for it to create a strong hurricane, and they have to align, right? They have to become one, right? What happens with a man and a woman? The same thing. You have to have two. You have to have a masculine side and a feminine side, and they come together as one. And when they come together as one, they can be a creator, and they have children. And that is, I guarantee you, amazingly very similar to the way God created all things. So whenever I'm talking to Shannon and I say she's beautiful, or if I say she's lovely, it is in no way saying anything out of the way. What I am saying is that she is in the image of God, just like I am, and just like y'all guys out there are. We are in the image of God, especially when we are a man and a woman together and we come together as one and create children. We are very much so in the image of God in so many ways, including, like I just said, it takes two. Like we have two eyes, two nostrils, two pecs or two breasts, and two ovaries or two huevos or whatever you want to call them, and two hands, and it's just all so beautiful and perfect. But yeah,
Yes.
so
Thank you for the compliment either way.
yeah, well, you are in the image of God, just like I am. But it takes the man and the woman to be in the full image of God, is what I'm coming to understand, and that's why it's the same reason as to why it takes two low pressures in order for a hurricane to form. And for instance, there's two books of the Bible, and what is a Bible is bi is two and bull is horns, or two. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Scrolls, rolled up scrolls, which look again just like a Taurus.
Right.
And yeah, my mind's going, it's just tripping out. Better stick with the show.
Speaking of the topic that you had mentioned, my mom, she loves to send me lots of videos. We do it to each other all the time, but she sent me an interesting one on the Jersey Shore in New York, and there was just mass amounts of fish just coming up onto the boardwalk and onto the actual. It was very interesting,
Wait a
but.
minute now. What now? Back up. Rewind. What did you just say?
So in this video that my mom sent me on the Jersey Shore, New Jersey Shore in New York area, they she just sent me a video of all these fish, just like mass amounts coming up onto the deck where the people were standing and like flipping out and trying to beach themselves up on the.
Well, we're fixing to try to find that if we can. You said New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
That's related to what we're kind of
Send it
talking
to
about.
you real quick.
New Jersey fish uh, coming ashore. I don't know.
Oh, here it is.
Let's see here. It was a video, right?
Yeah, I am sending it to you right now.
Are you putting it in the private chat or what are you doing?
No, on your phone.
Huh?
But if you want, it's on your phone.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll check that out.
All right.
Let's look at more of. Let's see here. What I was wanting to go through here. Let's see. Where was I at? I was somewhere in here and there. No, not that one. I was reading that one, I think. Yeah, talking about the earthquake that took place off the coast of South Carolina, amazingly enough. And this was in April, is when this happened. And y'all know that's kind of old news, but it ain't old news. The whole country's wobbling. There's there's something serious going on. Here is an article from National Geographic. Some of the best propagandists out there. Oh, really? You're going to make me log in too? Well, they're not getting ready either. Okay, so we got Fox. Here's Fox. 5 dead gray whales wash up along Washington coast. So we got that's Washington, so that's West Coast, right?
Throw it over by
Yeah,
me.
West Coast. And then we've got here's Chopper 12 captures footage of deceased whale floating in waters near East Atlantic Beach. That would be up near New Jersey, I would imagine. So, and of course, whales die just like everything else, but there's just a lot of them. Like, here's another one, for instance. And I wonder what the supernatural is going on.
Right? What in the supernatural is going on?
This was August the 11th, and it's a 30-foot humpback whale washes up dead at Smith Point County Park. Yeah,
Hmm.
where's Smith Point County Park? I'm not quite sure exactly. It says it's in Shirley. Okay, where is Shirley? Oh, New York. Okay, so up near New York again. Okay, so there's another one. And what the world is this? I don't know what that is, but I'm
I
close.
know apparently too, I just saw this article mentioning that there is a Cat 3 hurricane coming up through Mexico up on the coast, but they're expecting here in Southern California on Monday morning to be like a huge tropical storm. And I'm like, wow, it doesn't really hit inland all that often like that. So that's also kind of interesting,
Yeah,
like strange.
I, I just realized too I wasn't showing everybody what I was reading. I need somebody to just make sure I know what I'm doing. Which is
Any of
not,
you techies out there ever want to hop on board and just, run
yeah,
all our tech stuff? Come
yeah,
on,
we might.
let us know.
You wanna help with the show behind the scenes? Let us know, and we can have you in the studio with us. Um, Not necessarily on air that much, or even not on air at all. But if you want to be behind the scenes and be running and controlling certain things for us to help make sure we follow doing what we want to do, get a hold of us. Let us know. You know how to go over to the supernatural.show website and click on contact, and there's many ways to get a hold of us there. Worst case, submit something and I'll see it. Okay.
Although, Daniel, you are so much more tech savvy than I am. And I just think that's awesome. I struggle.
Yeah, it's. I tell you what, though, I'm being put to my test on building this website. You would not believe the things that I'm building into the website, and creating to make work. Like simple things like all the stories that are being submitted, they're automatically now. Well, it ain't functioning yet, but it will be real soon. It'll automatically be putting them into a sheet,
Nice.
like into sheets and stuff like a database. It'll be databasing it automatically. I won't have to be copy and paste and doing any of that. I'm building an app for the website, and the things that I'm building in functionality wise that people are going to be able to do is absolutely really cool, because it's going to allow you to have your own app on your own phone, and you click on it and you can go in and you can watch the shows, you can watch live, you can watch behind the scene videos. You can communicate with all the other Supernatural Show members that are on the website. All it just right there on your fingers. It's you can upload your videos. I've got that solved, Shannon. Upload your videos, upload your photos, all of it, and a lot more. There's so much more. My brain's hurting just thinking about it because I've been nonstop working on it. Well, for a long time now, but really intensely in the last days because it's getting so cool. I'm getting excited, and it makes me work even harder and harder to try to get it done.
Well,
So
I
here we have dead whales washing ashore in Long Branch. This was on August 13th. Takanasi Beach, uh, Saturday. A whale washed ashore.
good.
Big, huge creatures. I don't even know how long a humpback whale lives, but I bet you it's a long time. Imagine the stories they could tell, boy. But another dead whale. What's happening? Why are all these whales dying? Here's three dead whales in the last 4 days, and this is in the tri-state area. It says Hempstead, Long Island. Tri-state must be New Jersey, New York area, I think. If that's correct, it says Long Beach, so I'm thinking that must be it.
Long Beach.
But
That's actually
what
like, is that
what's what's happening to allow this to happen? Is the question. Is it something man-made, or is it something supernatural that's going on?
that is also
The scripture does talk about this kind of thing taking place. Now, I know this isn't the first time this kind of stuff has happened, but now it's intensely focusing, as you'll see here as I keep going through this for a few more minutes, it's focusing on the United States and some in Scotland and some in Australia too. And here we have very rare whale found dead near Florida coast. It says that it is, what kind was it? A deep water species of beaked whale. Beaked, meaning as a beak, I guess, like a bird.
mm,
It was discovered on a sandbar in the Florida Keys. I'm looking for any dates or times or anything like that. Particularly, I don't really see it. Let's keep going here. Dead whale discovered near Long Branch. I think we already read a report on that. Three dead minke whales found along Maine's coast since the end of July.
hmm.
So Maine, three of them. So now this one looks like it has some kind of, that could be just how the body breaks down, but it also could be some kind of predator attack. But there's three of them.
Right.
Really?
Oh,
I don't think that's normal. So that's Maine. We've got another one here. 50 pilot whales dead in mass stranding along the Isle of Lewis in Scotland. 50 pilot whales.
wow.
You
50.
know, what can drive birds? What can drive whales or mammals in the ocean out of the water and also drive birds out of the air? Frequency.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. Sorry. I apologize. My technical difficulties. No, no, stop. I do.
What?
I'm having technical difficulties over here. Luckily, you guys can't see it.
You can't see your video?
Oh,
Can
no.
you hear me?
Yes, there we go.
It's back now. Okay. I'm actually having to use my hotspot on my cell phone to do this today because for whatever reason the hotel's Wi-Fi is down, and I couldn't get them to get it fixed fast enough, and it was freaking me out. Here is another one. I thought it must be in here somewhere. It's about some more whale deaths, but I ain't looking for it that hard. The point is not each individual story, but the point of that. There's Long Beach, Dale, another whale dead on the beach, miles off of Atlantic Beach. Said it was spotted off the coast and then washed up on the shore. So yeah, something is driving these whales out of the water and into the shallows. And once they get in the shallows, they get in danger. of course. Here's another one. Let's see what this one says. Dozens of whale dead in mass beaching in Australia. So this was on August the 2nd. Says dozens of pilot whales died or were euthanized after beaching themselves in Western Australia. Okay. And just a couple more of these. More than 50 pilot whales dead. Okay, that's stranded in Australia. Okay. Here is another one. It says this one was just weird, just why I kind of brought it up. It's a recent story, but it says $500,000 chunk of floating gold found in dead whale. They're calling it floating gold, but it's actually something called ambergris or something like that. It's
Okay.
something the whale's body produces naturally,
Right.
and it's worth. Uh, let's see. This one had 21 pounds of it in its body and was worth over a $500,000. I mean, that's like putting a price tag on a whale's head. When they, like a sperm whale that has
Hmm.
that's worth a $500,000. Really
Well, yeah, I mean, the fishing
incredible.
industry is quite intense, and there are certain fishes out there and certain things that are people will spend thousands of dollars on a fish.
I know in Asia they really are into that. Uh,
Yeah,
Script. But
I'm
my concern is
wondering.
what's driving them ashore continuously over and over is just not natural. It's
I'm
supernatural.
wondering if it has anything to do with the Earth's core slowing down and stopping and possibly reversing, as even the scientists have been putting that, things are reversing the
Yeah,
shift of
they're
art.
talking about it and they're giving hints of what's going on, but in my opinion, they're not telling the truth the way it really is. It's just they can't help but just mislead the public with the way they describe what's actually happening because they talk about pole shift. Sorry, pole shift, and I could describe that and so that people could understand what it actually really means because I believe we live in a world which is a toroidal field, and if you live in a world that is a toroidal field, then and you live in the eye of that toroidal field, then a pole shift is talking about the entire magnetic field of all of creation is changing.
Right.
It means there are keys changing,
Hmm.
keys or frequencies changing, and yeah, it's just really not what they're just not telling the whole truth. Put it that way.
I wonder if in the ocean they can sense the sonic, you know, frequency feel much more in it, because I know it has a lot to do with their navigation, with
Absolutely,
all kinds of
like
different
birds. They're just like
communication.
birds, but they're underwater. They are able, birds travel thousands of miles following paths that are controlled by the frequency
Right.
pathways and stuff. They can find their way. Whales do the exact same thing.
And
They
water.
travel thousands and thousands of miles and then come right back the same path. But yet they're in thousands of feet of water and there are no, like landmarks where they can say, oh, there's the 7-Eleven. We got to turn here. They just know naturally how to navigate like this.
Right. I think too that I mean, in cymatic or kimatic experience or experiments, you see that water is a really good conductor of sound frequency. So they
Especially
may
salt
be
water.
even more, especially salt water. So I think they're even more sensitive to everything that's shifting or changing in, you know,
Well, Tesla said that with something the size of a matchbox, basically, he could take down a skyscraper by getting the resonant frequency. So, what's the resonant frequency of salt water?
right. I don't know specifically.
Because it would, if you could take down a skyscraper with something the size of a matchbox, what could you do with something like a nuclear submarine that had special devices on it?
Right.
You know,
So
yeah, you could. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Poseidon's been
Stuff.
hanging out on the East Coast for quite some time. So, who
What
knows
is?
the Poseidon?
Are you
The
talking about the Russian sub?
That's been hanging out on the East Coast for a long time. They've just been chilling.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling we're going to hear a whole lot more about that in the near future.
Hmm.
You have to come over to Logic Before Authority to hear more about that on that channel. But yeah, I got a video in the works right now where I'm going to show you on that other channel. If you're not familiar with it, you can pull up Logic Before Authority channel and it'll pull it up and you'll see it. It's got about 100,000 subscribers on there. And I'm getting ready to upload a video exactly on that subject, as a matter of fact. And I don't really hold back much at all over there on the subject matter. Over here, we keep it supernatural, you might say. That's the focus. Which, well, deaths aren't natural in the numbers that are happening. There is something supernatural going on with that aspect. So we want to know. Jason says a bowhead whale can live over 200 years.
Oh, wow.
That's a long time. Long time indeed. Let's uh let's read our story for today. What do you think, Shannon?
Like a plan.
My brain is about fizzled, so hopefully I can even read. I've just been working so hard trying to get so many things done. Whew. I could use a team of 10 people.
Right?
Unfortunately, I can't even pay my own payroll yet. Hopefully that'll change soon.
Yeah.
Let's see. This story today is from they. She had written in before under the tag name of liar detector, but she said her name is Leah, so we're adding that in there now, Leah. And she had mentioned previously in a story that she worked at a hospital before. So now we're going to read her experience at the hospital. Okay.
I'm ready.
So let's do it. She said, "I." Leah says, "I worked at this hospital from 2016 to 2018. This hospital has a history. It had a nursing school that the building became connected to the main hospital. Nursing school there was a building that became connected to the main hospital. It had a nurse that was caught killing her patients. I didn't know any of the history until I started working there and having weird experiences. Then I would go home and research. I was particularly afraid of the third floor. At first, it was just a creepy feeling. Then I had experiences that gave me a reason to hate cleaning on that floor. This one office I went into, I propped the door open, went in, went in to clean the bathroom, and the door slammed shut. I went to open the door, and it was locked in, or I was locked in. The doors didn't work that way. If you were inside the office, you could open the door. Only those outside would be locked out. So I went through the connecting office and that door opened. Another time in the same office, I was cleaning the bathroom sink and the paper towel holder opened and slammed my head. Kind of freaked me out. The maternity slash delivery ward was on that floor too. The one delivery room gave me the one delivery room gave me the creeps. One time a baby was born stillbirth in that room and I had to clean it. They had left the TV on and the lights over the bed even though it was daytime. Left the stuff on even though it was daytime. I was making the bed and kind of interested in whatever was on the TV when the lights began to flicker and the TV shut off. I've been hearing quite a bit about that light flickering thing, and I've seen it in my own life.
Hmm. Yes,
After my father in law passed, and when me and my ex wife entered into a time when it was pretty obvious we were going to be separating and divorcing. And I would go out in the garage, and her dad had passed some months before, and the lights on her car would flash on and off, on and off, on and off, and the lights in the garage would flash sometimes. And light switches in the house wouldn't. It was a brand new house, and they wouldn't work. I couldn't turn the lights on or off. It was weird. A lot of strange things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, where was I? When the lights began to flickering and the TV shut off, only to turn back on and switch the channel. The nursing school building on the third floor had become sleeping rooms for the emergency room doctors. This room at the end of the hallway I went in to clean and left the door open to grab my supplies outside by the door when it suddenly shut. I could not get in using my key and the code. I had to call my supervisor and explain what happened and wait for him to show up. He believed me and had stories of his own about seeing a gargoyle on the third floor between the delivery area and the surgical area. One of the other girls working in the housekeeping said in the surgical area she witnessed a bed rolling out of one of the rooms into the hallway, and it was not occupied. That unit cleared patients out after the surgeries. That unit cleared patients out after the surgeries. I was on the sixth floor and went into a patient's room to clean. I was in the bathroom washing the sink and flushed the toilet to prepare to clean it next, when the water started filling up in the sink. I definitely thought there was a plumbing issue and called maintenance when I finished the room. They told me that it was impossible to flush the toilet and fill the sink. So they probably thought I was crazy. Another time on the sixth floor, I was finishing up for the night and my closet was on the fifth floor. So I decided to take the stairs because it was closer to the closet than taking the elevator. I'm assuming she's been in the closet where her supplies are at or something. But when I got to the door on the other floors, you put in a code to unlock. But on this unit, it was disabled. The lights were blinking and the door kept locking and unlocking. That was enough for me. I took the elevator. There was a two-story building with offices across the street to clean as well. I got the same creepy feeling there too. One evening, I went in to clean on the second floor. I propped open the door and was cleaning when I heard the door slam shut. Once again, I was trapped inside, where you are supposed to be able to get out if you are inside of the office, and had to call my supervisor to get me out. I can't tell you how unnerving it is and how difficult it is to stay calm and not freak out when that stuff happens. One patient, a man in the ICU, became very alert when I walked in and began asking me questions like if I was related to so and so, etc. Then he told me that I looked like a girl he once he knew once and went to school with. The activity room had a book with old-fashioned pictures, and one picture looked like me with my youngest son, but wearing the long dress and apron of that period. I made a copy of it, but it's buried in my attic, or I would scan it in for this story and send it. I think that is about it. I feel like I'm forgetting something else that happened, but it isn't coming to me. When I moved in 2018, I ended up a couple of blocks from that hotel. Leah.
From that hospital.
Hospital.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Hotel. Hotel.
Hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
My brain's about mush today. I'm telling you, I'm working too much.
I understand.
Focusing so hard on trying to get everything done as fast as possible, and it's about too much for me.
Right.
But Leah, you know, darling, I've seen this kind of stuff happen myself. What have you seen this kind of stuff before, Shannon?
Hospitals are quite a hotbed of quite a bit of activity considering the nature of life and death in the same place. But with having such a history of such a to me an evil demonic presence in life doing that to innocent children, it's definitely going to leave some things behind and some residue. And that that just reminds me of a lot of the things you hear about in old asylums and things along those lines.
People in the comments are saying, and hotels and motels and homeless shelters.
Yeah.
And this person says they want to spend, says, I'd love to spend a night in a death row cell at Alcatraz. Oh boy, I'm into the supernatural, but that might be too much. I might be asking for problems.
Yeah, again, I'm all about investigations and all that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't want to put myself in the presence of that type of evil for that long. I'm good. It's already all around us as it is. You don't need to spend the night in a cell. It's pretty much everywhere.
Right. I've seen, I remember one night I was over at my brother's house and we had went to the grave. My one of my brothers owns a graveyard where my mom and my dad and some other people and a lot of other people were buried. He owns it. And me and my other brother went out there and we were flying these little cheap drones around and stuff. And it got dark. And while we were standing out there, I could see an apparition. My brother had went out and walked and was looking at this gravestone. He turned and was walking back towards me. And I seen this apparition coming behind him. And I told my brother, and I said, I can see what looks like an apparition or a ghost walking up behind you. And he stopped. And the apparition passed through him. Yeah, and then we went back to the house. And when we got back to the house, I was sitting at the dining room table. My brother was sitting over to my right,
Right.
and there was a over on my left right here. There was a kind of like a recliner rocking chair, and I had my arm up on the back of it like this while I was sitting at the dining table. And out of nowhere, something just went boom, boom, and hit the rocking chair, and it knocked my arm off of it. Not super violent, but it was
Enough to notice.
enough to it threw my arm off, and I'm like, holy cow. And then I'm looking around in the living room because I only have peripheral vision in my left eye. My right eye has 20/20 focus vision. My left eye is all peripheral. So with my left eye, if you ever noticed, you can see things, more things with your peripheral vision that are supernatural than you can with your focusing of your eyes. So with my left eye, I was looking over there and I seen an apparition and it was coming towards me, kind of crossing in front of the table. And I, it brushed against me and every hair on my arm just went, just stood up. And it, you know how you can feel someone's vibe? Well, this ghost vibe did not feel good.
Mm.
I've been around other apparitions of ghosts, whatever you want to call them, where I didn't get that feeling. This one didn't feel good. And I told my brother, I said, uh, you got a ghost walking right across here and he's heading over in front of you. And then, and I was watching it with my left eye. And then it went and stood in front of my brother and turned around and started to sit in his lap. And I told my brother, I said, it's trying to sit in your lap. And he looked at me funny. And then all of a sudden, he felt it. And he flew out of the chair and started, he sprinted to his bedroom, got the Bible, and a glass of water and was slinging it all over the house and, saying prayers and rebuking it and everything. And yeah, that happened. And we never seen that ghost again. Or the other friendly ghost that was in his house prior to that didn't mess with anything. She would just show up sometimes. He said she was gone too. He never seen her again either. Got rid of 2 for 1. It was like a 2 for 1 ghost special. Yeah, I
Really?
mean it sounds funny, really, but
No, that's
it is. But it happened. My
I
brother
believe
you can
it.
testify.
I believe it. When I was living in Riverside, in my early 20s, like, well, actually, might have been even a little bit younger, not even in my 20s, but the house I lived in Riverside already was pretty terrible vibes. That whole area is kind of sad. It brings a lot of sad people towards that area too. But that being said, I remember coming home from work one time and I walk in the house. It's completely dark, no one's inside the house. And it just, I could hear and see somebody in the house in the darkness, and I could literally see this dark shadow, and I was like, what the heck? I start walking close, and the next thing I know is I'm literally feeling a man's chest, but it's all dark shadow, and
Whoa,
you feel the aggression and the anger. It freaked me out so bad. I came running out screaming, and luckily my roommate Jeremy, who lived in the garage at the time, was actually home. So I like ran and I was like, someone's in the house. Like, I don't even know. It was like not even 30 seconds by the time he runs in the house to like go kick someone's butt, and literally there's no one there. But I literally could, I felt his chest, and it was just the most,
yeah,
I did not like that house. I had a lot of incidences, but that one freaked me out because I could literally feel the chest, but it was nothing but shadow. And I was like, I know you're not a physical being, but you have to be a physical being because I can feel you. I just
yeah.
want your chest. It was weird.
I've never felt one like that the way you're describing it, but I've felt the energy of him, like the one that, well, hit the chair and knocked my arm off of it, and then come by and made every hair on me stand up when it walked by me. And it's a weird thing with your peripheral vision, with my eye only having peripheral vision on this left eye here. I can see things with that eye I can't see with my right eye,
Right.
and I can see things with my right eye I can't see with the left because it just has peripheral vision. But it's really strange how God chose to set me up like that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I just, man, that I could feel the anger and just rage emanating from that. I mean, that scared me the most. I was like, whatever this is, I don't want to be near it. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how many people have these kind of experiences, but we never try to figure it out. We never try to understand it. Well, until now.
Yeah. I mean,
People will kind of just try to forget about it, brush it under the rug. But what is it? Why is it? What the supernatural is going on here?
this exactly. I've been asking what in the supernatural is going on for all my life. I'm that kind of nerd who is like, what is this? Let's find out. Of course, now I'm in the right direction, letting the Holy Spirit guide me on that and not so much my own understanding. So that's
She
one.
stopped playing with Ouija boards and stuff.
Yeah. And I don't know if all of you guys have experienced that in your life, but I'm not going to lie to kick it here. I definitely had played with things like that. I had done a lot of stupid things.
I think we've all done a lot of stupid things,
Hmm.
but we're now, at least us and everyone that's here watching, we're now seeking the answers and the truth. to what it all is and what it all means. Why so many amazing, incredible things that make me sound like the biggest liar in the world happen to me? It's like, why is that?
Right.
And what does it all mean? And that's what I'm on the mission to find out, along with a lot of other missions at the same time. But I consider supernatural to be uh, the other side of the veil, you know, and
Showing up for you
beyond the veil, that kind of thing. That's another tagline: beyond the veil.
on the
Uh,
bed. Oh, I'm gonna start writing this stuff
yeah,
right.
I won't explain to everyone yet what that has to do with, but you'll see it as soon as we get a chance to sit down and go through some stuff. You'll see what I'm doing with it. It's pretty cool, and yeah, I'm gonna start going to the beach and running live streams from the beach directly to the website, so that the members that are on the website will be able to uh, see what shows up. Sometimes nothing shows up. Sometimes angels show up, and sometimes other weird things show up. But mainly it's angels that show up when I go to the beach at nighttime, and we're going to be streaming those kind of things to the website for all the members to be able to see, and it's going to be on a schedule, so you'll kind of know when we're going to be doing it and stuff. So make sure to go to the website, the supernatural.show, and sign up, guys, because I'm serious about what I'm doing, and I know Shannon is too.
Yep.
So
Now that hopefully soon the weather will change up a little bit so I can go and explore some things because it's been too hot to go out into the desert to go look at things. It's
it's been hot to go to hot springs.
yeah,
Mhm.
just a little bit.
Well, it's going to cool off soon, hopefully. But here, luckily, oh, I wanted to show everybody something because I need to make them aware of it. Let's see, where's it at here? Yeah, it's right here. Okay. I mentioned this to you, but I haven't really talked about it much. This is a good opportunity to do that. Let me bring the screen back up here.
Is this about the eclipses?
Yeah, well, yeah. Um, okay. This is an event that we're going to be doing together, meaning y'all guys out there. We're going to be doing it together, where we're going to set up a day. I just arbitrarily picked the 23rd here for the moment, but we're going to set up a day, not just one day. We're going to do it on a regular basis, like one day a week, where we're going to have y'all guys go to the beach or to a lake or to a pond, to the water's edge, okay, or a mountaintop, hilltop, or building top, something high, or either something right on the water's edge at sunset. And you can come here on the website and you can take a look at this event, and all the details about it and stuff, and go in and participate in it. You can RSVP to be part of it. And we're also going to do this for the solar eclipses. But here's the cool thing: is that we're going to have y'all guys in studio with us, streaming your live video into the studio. So there'll be 10 to 20 of us here streaming at the same time from all over the country, all over the world, while we are filming and looking for angels to show up. Because I know when the best time to see them is. I know where the best places to see them is. Why? Because I've seen them over 50 times, probably approaching 60 now at this point, but and way over 100 angels I've seen. And then we're going to do the same thing with the eclipse that's coming up. We have two eclipses. I think one this October. It's a solar eclipse from Oregon all the way down to into Mexico, through New Mexico into Mexico. And then we got the one next April that goes across the entire U.S., basically from coming out of Mexico through Texas all the way up through Maine. And what we're going to do is we're going to have y'all guys uh, log as guests. I'm going to set it up where you can register for it and everything. Get you all the instructions, and all you have to do is click on a link, and then click on camera on and turn your camera so you're showing not you, but it's showing your view.
How
And
about we go on
we're
a
gonna
super?
have y'all guys broadcasting the clips from all over the country live onto the show here in the studio with us. So we're gonna have a bunch of guests in studio, and all of you are gonna be live. But you're not gonna necessarily be putting your face. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be showing the clips from all over the country on one channel, and I think that's gonna be fantastic. That will absolutely be supernatural. To have that, I don't think anyone's ever done that, and we're going to do it. And we're also going to do it with the angels, going out and looking for angels. Anyone that would like to do that, you can go on here and you can RSVP for this. And if you RSVP for it, what we're wanting is ultimately what I'm wanting to do is have you to stream, go out to the water's edge somewheres, or on a high spot somewheres, or if you can see the mountaintops fairly close to you, that might work good enough too, because they like appearing above mountaintops like they did with Moses, and they like appearing by the water's edge like they did with Daniel in the book of Daniel, and with this Daniel at the same time. And I'm going to be out there with you, and Shannon's going to be out there with you. We're going to all be filming, and uh, and then we're going to have one person running the studio, uh, helping us out a little bit from inside the studio, which I've yet to really find that person. But we kind of put out the announcement earlier. We're looking for
Yeah.
some people to help, so we're
Come on,
gonna we're
techies.
gonna go ahead.
I just said, come on, techies.
Yeah, hmm. You want to be involved in something that's important, and something that's about truth, and something that's about the word, and understanding supernatural aspects of our world. Get a hold of us. Let us know. You got to be, all you got to be is just have for filming and allowing that stream to come through our broadcast system. All you got to have is simply a cell phone that's got a fully charged battery, and you're in. You're good. All you got to do is click on one link, and you're in. It's real simple to come in the studio, ain't it, Shannon?
That's correct.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah. Click. Exactly. Shannon could even do it.
That's right.
Right now, I'm trying to. Oh God, I'm sorry, Shannon. I'm gonna tease you for a second.
No, go
Shannon
ahead.
can't get her email.
Hey, out of fairness, you're struggling on that one too.
I
So
can't figure out why you can't get in your email. Yeah,
I
it's tripping me
can't
out too. I'm gonna get it one way or another, but it ain't stopped us from being able to do anything. Well, actually, stopping you a little bit, but so maybe I do need to fix that faster than I should. So I'll get on that, Shannon.
okay. Oh yay! Then I can get into the other
He's
thing.
having technical difficulties, and I ain't figured out what the difficulty is yet. But yeah, we'll handle it. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with y'all guys. We've got some really cool. We see. I'm a guy that likes to think big. Anything I do, if once I decide I'm going to really go for something, I like to think big. That's why I was the number one real estate agent in the state of Idaho for a decade. I was the top top salesperson for Micron. Micron,
Oh
the
wow.
chip manufacturing community. They had 1,000 salespeople, and I was the number one salesperson by a huge percentage because I like to think big, and that's what we're going to do with this supernatural show. Is we're going to think big, we're going to go big, and we're going to do things that no one's ever done before. We're gonna we're gonna have 50 of you out there filming at some point, filming angels all over the country, and live, and filming the solar eclipses and all this live, and have all your streams right here on the show, and we'll be bringing them up, and we'll have a method to it, so it won't be chaos. It'll be controlled chaos. So yeah, I got about 100 hours of work to make all that work right, but I got it. I got it. But yeah, let's see. Was there anything else really important I wanted to mention at the moment? No, I don't think so. There's a lot I could talk about, but I think that's good for the moment. Leah, thank you for your story once again. I greatly appreciate you sharing your story with us. And guys, keep in mind, there's three ways to share stories here with me and Shannon. There's the website, and you can go on there and click on submit story. You can submit it just like that. Type out your story. You can attach uh, small videos and photos. You can, or you can just attach them to email and send them to if we get, or we really need a bigger email, a bigger file capability. And you can also call in. We do call ins on live here on the live show sometimes. You can call in and tell your story, and you can also come on as a guest. So when you go on there and fill out your story on the website, it's going to ask you if you'd like to come on the show as a live guest. And if you do check yes, then it'll automatically send you instructions on start getting you ready. I'm trying to automate everything I can so I can multiply my time. And it's going pretty good, but I still got a lot of work. The website is something that will never end. You've got to work on it forever. So any website freaks out there, geeks, freaks, that really know your stuff and you're very familiar with Wix. Yeah. If you are and you want to be involved with the show, let us know. Because we're looking for those kind of things. The show is growing fast. The website's growing fast. It's really blowing up. And
That's exciting.
there hasn't been a ton of things you can do on there yet, but trust me, that's getting ready to change. There's it's what I've got fixed. I'm fixing to roll out that I haven't rolled out yet, but I'm getting ready to. It's going to be awesome. One of them is going to be the app, and the other one is a complete social system that uh, you'll have right on your phone to connect with the Supernatural show, connect with me and Shannon, and connect with all the other members of the websites because we all have an interest in common, and that's the supernatural and that's the truth. And so I finally am going to pull it off and make it happen like I wanted to for a while. But I keep getting shot down and beat up so bad on the other side over there because I was spending so much time focusing on exposing, how would we say, false flags that you get your channel terminated all the time. But now we've graduated to the supernatural, at least on this channel, anyways. We're always going to get in trouble over there, probably. But
I don't know, some of these supernatural things that we talk about could also get us in trouble sometimes,
let,
but
let's
here.
try. Can't you tell some truth somewheres at some time?
You know, it's you have to.
Well, it is what it is. And I know I'm doing what my father wants me to do. So we'll be fine.
We don't have to sit here and talk code the entire conversation. So that being said, that's a big plus.
Right. Right. I mean, we've all talked about certain subjects that have been going on for the last couple of years, plenty, and and exposed a lot of that kind of stuff. But this is a whole nother level, is what this is. The supernatural, what's beyond the veil, coming soon. You'll see what I mean. So, well, Shannon, you got anything else going on you want to talk about? I'm about wore out myself, to be honest with you. I feel like I need to go to bed.
Right. Well, please again, like, share, and subscribe. Get us out there so we get more of you up on our on our radar and spreading out the word. And I'm really excited about this whole live stream thing that we're about to open up because that really gets you guys, to break that fourth wall, to share what you have in real time as we're all doing it. That's kind of that's
Mm-hmm.
exciting and quite a
That's
revolutionary
gonna be,
way.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I believe it's gonna be awesome. We got to
So,
do it right, but it's gonna be
right.
awesome. I mean, you think Just imagine having people all the way from Maine, all the way to Texas, maybe even to Mexico, filming the eclipse, the solar eclipse, as it passes through the time zones. And you,
Nice.
you oh man, not filming it live, broadcasting it live. We should be the number one show on YouTube. You know, uh, at least for that show and that video, we should be top. You top YouTube, top Facebook, top Rumble, and I'm getting ready to expand to add three more platforms as well. I've already got it all set up, just getting ready to do it, and we'll be streaming. Like right now, we're streaming Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube right now. We're gonna add three more, and so then we're gonna be streaming to six places at once. They,
That's
they,
amazing.
they won't be able to shut me up. It'll drive them crazy.
I'll have to try and make a plan of going somewhere cool and getting some special footage. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
not sure how much we're gonna get to see here in California, but
yeah. I'm gonna be on probably on the beach. Imagine.
that's a good place.
Yeah, it's a good place, right? If you're gonna film any clips, why not on the beach? Sounds good.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that should be awesome. You're right.
Well, that being said, I'm really excited that we have a lot coming up. I'm excited about the app, and I know our next show we're gonna get into more stories, and it's just good to be good to be here. This is a good place for me. So whatever's going on in this world, I at least know that when I come here and hang out with you guys, I have something to contribute in this madness. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm a nerd. I'm a comedian. Can't help it. Sometimes I think I'm a cartoon. I don't know. I, or maybe it's wishful thinking.
Yeah, I can get pretty animated too. I typically don't have that history of that on my other channel because I'm so serious about my work and everything. But I can get pretty animated, and it allows me to be a little bit more myself on here, and not so calculated the way I have to be on the other channel, and which I do enjoy that too. So we're gonna keep doing that. That ain't stopping. Matter of fact, got a video coming for you tomorrow morning. I wanted to mention this comment that says Lacey Lavender. He says he saw a giant that was about 10, 12 feet tall in 2018. Now if you're gonna go and say that, you got to follow it up with submitting a story, right?
Right.
You feel me? You got to submit the story on the website. Get a hold of me. I want to hear that story. If you said you've seen it, tell me what happened. I believe you. So let's do that, okay? Because I enjoy those kinds of stories. Absolutely. So, well, guys, I reckon we have come to the end of another supernatural show episode.
Hope
And
you guys have a good evening.
yeah, hopefully y'all guys have a good evening. And we'll be back again. Not sure I'm going to be able to do a show tomorrow. I have a prior obligation. If I do, it'll just be kind of late, like this one was. But we'll be back. Probably do one on Saturday for sure. Keep them rolling. I got a number of other stories and a bunch of other data from the Wobble study and the Black Goose study and the Dragon study. More information coming along there too. We're going to have Dr. Robert back in the house here very soon as well. Within a few days, I think, probably the beginning of the week, probably Monday or Wednesday, I would say. Yeah. So,
That's cool. I
but
like it.
I'm sorry, Shannon.
So that's cool. I like him. He's got a lot of great information. So
Yeah, he's serious about what he does too, man. He discovered those dragons, and he is on it. Let me tell you, he's all over podcasts and stuff all over the internet, nonstop. But he says he loves being here the best.
well, that's
That's what he
awesome.
tells all the girls.
Well, in all fairness, he's been on the show with you a lot more than me. So
Yeah, I was the first, whatever you want to call a bigger YouTuber that went to him and seen his stuff and said, "Man, we got to talk." And I literally spoke to him 6 months before we decided to do a show, and then now I've done like 3 or 4 with him so far, and we're gonna go for another one here soon. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, well, guys, we love you. Take care, and we'll see you again real soon here
Yeah.
on the Supernatural Show.
And find out what in the supernatural is going on.
That's right.